matter what tool you use, that aggression comes back. So you have to deal with it, and you have to be willing to put in the work to do it. And that's part of what I do. And I think the more of us that can do that, the healthier we get. You got to put in all the work. It's not just a little bit of it. You got to be willing to do all of it. And I know it's hard. I'm not saying it's easy. It was not easy. But when I learned what my responses were to how I live my life, that's how I was able to get better. And then if you have things like your injection and things like your surgery, fine. But you have to develop a lifestyle that's conducive of healthy. It doesn't just fall out the sky. Oh, brother, brother, brother. I was actually going to boil those for you before I went to bed, actually. Because I didn't realize you go while I'm still sleeping now. So yeah, so I have to just, because I'm up here pretty late when you guys are still resting sometimes. So I'll remember. um, so the hard part is knowing like what. Okay, so I know that when I'm stressed out, I'll stress eat. And then I know that I can restrict a lot. Oh my gosh, thank you, Joel. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I'm so grateful. I know that I'll restrict. But what happened was, check this is how I know I'll restrict. Check this out. I'll wake up in the morning and I'll call myself intermittent fasting, but really I'm stressed out about my day, so I'm not going to properly prepare oh my gosh, I got a necklace. Thank you. I've never gotten that before. Oh my gosh, thank you. Thank you so much, Joel. So I'm stressed out, so I only get like a coffee. Ow! I think you're supposed to like ride him cowboy or something. Queen. So I'll wake up stressed out, you guys. So first trick of the day is I'm gonna restrict in the morning and call it intermittent fasting. Hi, what are you still doing up? It's 11:11 right now. Close your eyes and ask your higher power for something amazing. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh, what is that? I've totally, my followers will tell you I never ask for gifts, hardly ever. I sometimes have a gift go and sometimes I don't even think about it because I'm literally coming on here to pour out my soul. So thank you guys so much. I'm actually getting gifts I've never gotten before, you guys. And I've been on TikTok for almost 4.5 years. And I've never did a live match, so that tells you what my platform is really about: motivation and inspiration. And the most I've ever made at one time on TikTok is $14 for a whole month. So I'm not here to, and this is not against anyone who asks you to give gifts for their knowledge and information. Because I have a coaching company, I feel like there's nothing wrong with me offering you nuggets here, because if what I offer you is valuable, you will find your way to my community and say, hey, I want to know what they're doing over there. I don't have to nickel, penny, dime you and take your hard-earned money when what I have is coming from God and it's free. I don't know if that even makes, thank you so much. Thank you. So I don't know if that makes sense. And I know some people might say whatever. No, in real life, you can look. Anybody can look. I have a TikTok shop. If you look, I've only ever had 10 orders in its whole life. So that's definitely up. And look, one of my sisters just said, why don't you promote your book? I'm actually a best-selling author and have been since 2017. I've also been featured on People magazine and on several news, but it's not that I haven't, it's not that I'm not somebody, guys. It's just here, it's not about who I am. It's about what can I give you that can allow you to see who you are. Because I wrote a book about kind of it's my biography. It's called What If? From Death to Destiny. You can get it off of Amazon, actually. It's a quick read. It's a small paperback, and it's actually the kickoff to the book I'm finishing up now. So it's like the pre-read to this one. It's like the prequel. And so I've been working on my new book for almost a year. So what's the name? You got it in your bio. What if from death to destiny? Oh, you can't hear me? What if from death to destiny? How is that? Is that better? What if from death to destiny? Okay. Oh, I don't want the phone to fall down. Okay. Sorry, you guys. Thank you so much, Joe. I want to make sure I follow you. Oh, and I follow people back too. I don't mind. It's no big deal. If we're supposed to be building community, why can't you follow people? Because I'm a business account. If you look, they don't let you follow nothing but like 10 or something at a time. So I do that. I always do 10. It's no big deal. If you see, I follow almost like 3,000 people. I don't mind. Why not? So, oh, no sound, only video. Let's see. Let me see. Let's see. Maybe we need some power. Let's check our battery, ladies and gentlemen. Hold on. I'm gonna cut it up. How about now? What about now? Oh, okay. Thanks, darlings. Okay, they said, okay, Joe, as long as you guys can got me, love bug, I don't know, maybe go back in and come back, go out and come back in, maybe, and that'll probably fix it for you. If not, one of my moderators can help you. They're here. They like to stay in the background and watch me do what I do. Okay, so that's all I was saying. So, okay, so since you guys are here, don't leave. Let's get into it. Let me tell you what you've stumbled upon. So I like to show people exactly how I did what I did. Because when I tell you, it's been absolutely so simple and easy. Hi, Matt. That I like to share something that I've done. Now, this is not to offend anybody, but this is just to show you that there are small things that you can do that don't involve countertransference or transferring addiction that can actually grow your mental mindset. Thank you. Thank you for the lightning bolt. Thank you for the bracelet. Ching, 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 ching for my bracelet. Thank you. Okay, so one of the things I've been doing for years is reading, yes, the same books. But I'm about to show you something. So, if you want to just know kind of my background a little bit, so before I became this person, well, I've always had a food issue, so I was always this person inside of this person. But before I got to this point, which is actually in hospice, when I was 35 years old, this is the day they told me I had 30 days to live. This is when the whole you're going to die thing started, really, when it really started, because I had had a massive seizure and stroke following a total hysterectomy several years before. And I started getting sick, and I kept getting sick, and I kept eating, and I kept getting sick. Listen to this. I kept getting sick and I kept eating. See, sometimes people like to leave that part out about their terminal conditions and their health, but you can't forget the fact that you kept picking up the food, putting it in your mouth. Yes, PCOS, endometriosis, thyroidism. I have a little tumor on my thyroid right now to this day, and it's not making me eat up no house. Why? Because I have self-control. Okay. None of my health conditions, no blood clots, no diabetes. I was getting pricked every hour because of the medicine I took. Okay. Let me tell you something. There's no disease that I had inside of my body, and I had over 50 of them. And I took over 62 pills a day. There was no disease that was making me eat tater chips, hot dogs, cupcakes, and cookies like that. Okay, that was Kenya. There was no disease jumping outside of this body, going to the grocery store, buying it. Endometriosis did not jump off of me and go to the grocery store and buy them bonbons. I did, and then I ate them. So to actually say, well, I have this disease and this is the only reason why I can't, actually what we need to say to be authentic, because the first key in what I done is I had to accept that I was the culprit to my issue. Me. I drove the bus. I filled the gas up in the tank to keep it riding. And as a result, I fed into something that was waiting to be activated. Do you understand what I just said? So it's not that I don't have those same conditions today. It's that I don't do the things that make those conditions be symptomatic in my life. Catch that, okay? Catch that. So it's not that I just the same part, the port that's in my chest in that photo, it was on this side. It's not on this side. I didn't cure my terminal autoimmune condition. I changed the way my lifestyle functions, and I began to live in a state of wellness. And as a result, I went from sick care to well care. I stopped worrying about my waistline and tried to figure out what was going inside my mind, because this was driving the behavior that equated me to eat, that triggered due to the toxins and the conditions of the food I was eating, then triggered the diseases and the heightened symptoms. So one thing I did was change my mind. Our slogan here is change your mind, change your waistline. So one of the first things I did was, well, first of all, I'll tell you, thank you so much, Joe. So first of all, I'll tell you guys that my girlfriend shared her shake with me on my deathbed because I really was eating myself to death, which is a whole nother story time. But I want to make sure I do this before 11:30 so that I'll do this. And then if you guys have more questions, I can tell you more, okay? But don't forget to share the live because I think Mr. Joe came in because the live got shared. And so I'm so grateful. Thank you so much. And I would love to share my story with more people. And I share my story, not necessarily so that you'll buy or purchase anything from me, but so no matter what story or what version of life you're living, you saw me on oh my gosh, people say I'm never on their FYP. This is the first. Okay, maybe I did something right today. But what I want you to know is it doesn't matter what version of life you're in right now. There's one thing we all have in common, and that's pain. Okay? It doesn't matter what color you are, where you're from, how much money you make, that pain is real. Okay? And if we're not careful, pain will be driving your entire existence. The fear of it, or running from it, or to it. It will drive you. So all of your choices and decisions will be made on the fear that you've developed from the previous experiences in your life that did not go well. Catch it. So you're not functioning within oneself. You're functioning in the emotions and feelings of your past in today's time. That's why you must stay present. They don't just say that to be saying that. They're saying that because your brain only bases its ideology off of schemas. And if all I ever know is failure and doubt and hurt and pain, how can I think about rising anywhere? But if I choose to teach myself to love her enough to understand that I deserve the upper, the better, the bigger, the more, that I deserve to be healthy. I deserve to be fit. I deserve to be like I was when I was younger. Do you understand what I'm saying? Once you begin to understand the pathway of your thinking, your own personal psychology, understand me? We're so worried about if we married to a narcissist, we don't even realize that some of us have narcissistic tendencies because we've been so victimized. You got to get help too. Because you understand to stay somewhere, it means there's certain characteristics and traits that you have yourself that mimics that. But I'm a behaviorist, remember, so I study the behavior and the art of us. Okay, that's what I do. That's how I've been able to create a company that does what it does in weight loss. Because weight loss is behavioral, right? We think it's medical because it makes people medically ill. But you had to have a mental issue with food in order for obesity to reach a point of medical distress. Y'all don't want none of me. Yep, they do. Joel, it's true. If you're a person of high success and you want to make a lot of money, don't you know those are traits of those are three of the traits that are consistent in narcissistic personality. Get educated before you label. It's important. Everything isn't narcissistic and everything isn't drama. It's because your previous experiences have taught you when you have those feelings aroused in you that that's what it is. But that's why you must learn to detach and learn new emotions and how to deal with them. It's all in the dealing that breaks the bank or pays the people. All right, okay. So I started reading these two books a couple years ago. I don't know, maybe 5 or 6. And we read them every day. We've been coming live every day for 124 days. Today is day 124. And what we do is we read these two books and then we talk about it. But today we had a lot of new people here on our platforms. Hey, JW Bradford. So I wanted to take an opportunity to tell you who I was and share a little bit of my story and talk a little bit about what I do. So what I do is I offer a 4-day-a-week intensive outpatient virtual program for people in wellness and weight loss journeys, as well as one-on-one intensive coaching. I meet with people up close and personal, including their family members, to help them truly become healthy and well while losing weight. We don't diet or restrict. I create all of the things: eat better, feel better, live better. So I provide you with what you need, and all you have to do is show up. Okay, narcissist is where the word narcosis is where the word narcissist comes from. A God who fell from love. Yep, who fell in love with himself. Yep, bet. My mouth is a little dry, guys. I'm sorry. I'm kind of grabbing it. Hi, Matriarch. Hi, Lady Dosh. Okay, so here we go. Are you guys ready? Okay. And big shout out to those of you who have been showing up for like 124 days. Queen and all you ladies and everybody, Tamika, and some of you beautiful matriarch. I've seen you here a couple of times. So to some of you beautiful souls who keep showing, Joe, thank you so much for all the likes. I'm so grateful to continue to show up every night while we do this. I go in the sometime every day. Tonight we had a busy day because we're getting ready for my niece's birthday. So I was, of course, busy. But I love a book. I need help with my weight. Oh, Vaughn. Okay, Vaughn, look, click the link in my bio, Vaughn. Send me a message and say, Coach, I need help with my weight. I was in your live. I'll respond back. I'll actually give you my business text line. And if you text it, guess who's talking to you? Me and my team. My team during the day, but me more in the late hours. And then we'll walk with you. You'll tell us what you need and we'll help you. We have daily support. I know some people say they offer daily coaching, so they have a Facebook group. That's not what this is. It's actually you're going to log into Zoom, cut on your camera, and come face to face with us 4 times a week. Okay. And what you're going to do is you're going to you're going to be cooked with. We're going to cook together, grocery shop, do grocery lists. All this stuff is already done for you, but we're going to review it. My program is set up like a college course. So you have particular assignments and everything that you're going to complete. You're going to meet with me once a month for a one-on-one session so that we can review all of your goals and how you're going. And we're going to hang out and do that for 5 months together. Yeah. And most people stay with me for up to 9 years. They end up being a part of our alumni community, but our oldest standing member is 9.5 years. 9.5 years. Okay, here we go. 124. Let's do it. It says, it is written, if I say I will forget my complaint, I will put off my sad face and wear a smile. I am afraid of all my sufferings. I know that you will not hold me innocent. Job 9:27-28. And so for coaching, we text or email. Joe, you can do either. All of it is my company. You know how most people only have an email, but if you can actually Google my name and it'll pull up everything for me and my contact information. But if you want to text Joe, you can text at 480-418-1811. It is my text business line. Yes. Yes, my love. Okay. Let me get back into it, y'all, because I got to pull the book back. I can't see that. I know I'm in my early 40s, but I don't know what happened. I hit 40 and then I couldn't see. And you guys, I'm super active. I hike, run, I ride, bike, everything. But my poor vision. All right. Okay. David Komalafi, principle. Fear increases complaints and heaviness of the heart. Smile it off. Ooh. Oh my gosh, did you guys just hear that? Fear increases compliments and heaviness of the heart. Smile it off. Oh, you're welcome, Joel. The next one says, I receive grace to overcome compliments and mourning in Jesus' name. and murmuring. The second prayer says, I escape the sufferings of fear and turn to joy in Jesus' name. So I escape the sufferings of fear and turn to joy, and then I receive grace to overcome complaints and murmuring in Jesus' name. And that's going to be from Pastor Komalafi from 365 Days of Fear Not. So that's going to be our first for 124. Okay. And so, as we talked about earlier, we talked about self-acceptance and being responsible. Good night, Elder. So then the next one is going to be, okay, so now we're going to be April, it's going to be April 8th. Okay. So April 8th, it says, enjoy the adventure. It was a cold night in Sedona, Arizona. An unexpected snowstorm has passed through the unusual warm city, developing several inches of snow in a short time. The electricity was off. The cabin I was staying in was freezing. Great, I thought. I got to spend my last evening in Sedona fighting off hypothermia alone in the dark. I put on a heavy sweater, then wrapped myself in a blanket, trudged to a phone booth, and called a friend to complain. Change your perspective, he said. Pretend you're 4 years old. Get your flashlight, then make a tent in your bed out of all the pillows and blankets you can find. Enjoy the adventure. At first, I balked. Then I decided to try this idea. I made the tent, bundled up. My complaints quickly turned to memories of what it was like to be a child, to play with life, to play with all the experiences life brings. Soon, I fell asleep. Hi, Nessa. When I awoke in the morning, the heat was on my back. The lights had returned. The snow had stopped falling, capped in a frosty layer of white. The breathtaking city of rust iron mesas looked like a wonderland. I had learned another lesson, practical and simple. Change your perspective and enjoy the adventure. Let the child in you come out to play. Wow, I like that. Because it's so easy when things don't work out like you think it should, or when it doesn't look like you should, like you immediately get frustrated or begin to complain, like, oh my gosh, nothing's working like I wanted it to. And sometimes we forget maybe it's working like God wanted it to. And so because you forgot that it was God, not you, you lost perspective. And so here we are out in the streets talking about it's not working like you wanted it to when it was never your plan for it to work out toward anything. And that's so crazy. Everyone has their child in themselves. Yes. A lot of I have, I love just having fun, but not like what most people think. I'm talking about like if we're in the house hanging out, like, and you're working and I'm working, I might come up and try to tickle you or like do something to your neck or something. Like I love doing stuff like that. Just little taps of affection, just to let the people around me know that I love them and that they're honored here, that I see them, that I'm aware of them. Because sometimes we can be in our own worlds and not even acknowledge one another to the point of, hey, how are you? Like sometimes you can be moving about your house and not even realize what somebody had on that day because you didn't pay attention. You saw them all right and you heard them all right, but you didn't see them or hear them. And so I like try to like be like, hey, what you doing? Because I'm at home with my family. And so I'm like very like I'm very into that, you know. My experiences have taught me that as humans, we need that, even if we didn't grow up with that, even if that wasn't taught to us. Even with my girls, with my ladies that I work with, I do the same thing. And my gentlemen, I make sure they know that they're handsome and that they're smart and that they're hardworking and they're intelligent. And it doesn't matter what their situation says in that moment, because that moment doesn't define their existence unless they allow it to define their existence. And so that's all I have tonight. Anything else? I am I.R.I.S.E. Are you? Everyone has their child in their selves. I so believe that. Like, we all have this little person in us, and some of us have a sick version of a little person that's stunted our development and our emotional growth. And we have to go back and raise that little person up and love on them and talk to them and parent them so that they can grow up to the age that you actually are, so that we're not having temper tantrums and stuff when we're like 70. Yeah, because you can be healed all right, and you can be um, well, all right, but you can be very immature in your responses to life and not know it. Because if no one's ever called you on it, you don't know that it's a childlike behavior until someone says, kids do that, right? They're like, no, they don't. And I'll be like, yeah, that's actually a form of a temper tantrum. If you say you do that every time you get mad, you do it to every person you get mad at, that's a form of a tantrum. No, it's not. No, it's not. I'm like, yeah, baby. Yeah, yeah, it is. It is. Just because you do it as an adult and instead you hang up on the person, cut them off, block out them on all social media, and don't call them until you need them, that's not setting a boundary. That's a tantrum. Because people that set boundaries actually communicate what they're doing. So they just say, hey, I understand that. Right now, this doesn't seem to be going the way we planned. So I'm just going to take a step back, and I think that time will allow it to do what needs to be done. Because then what happens, you just do all that and then spend days, weeks, and sometimes years telling the story over and over until you don't even tell the same version anymore, right? That's why I really am careful about stories when I tell them that involve my family and stuff like that were painful for me, because over the years, your memory begins to change and jade the story if you're not careful. So that's why you can't keep telling it over and over. Because once we've truly stood in a space of healing, people should not meet you and in the first 5 minutes know you're a child abuse, sex abuse victim, and all of that. That's something we do when we utilize when our past is still defining who we are. Because unless we're currently being sexually abused, that wouldn't be probably the first subject you would want someone to know. But unfortunately, when your childhood defines who you are as a grown person, like an adult, like for example, some of us women, I did it for a while too, but I was educated on it early on. But some of us women who have overcome horrific childhood traumas, we introduce ourselves through our trauma, and we don't know that we're doing that. So, we're talking to the person, and in the first 5 minutes, we let them know that our family abandoned us. We was raped as a child and our baby's dead. What? And that becomes our calling card every time we meet someone, and we don't even realize we do it. And so what happens, everybody we meet see us as this broken little child and see us a sympathy case. And then when we get our power back and we say something back, we wonder why they're offended, because they met you. You were a victim and now you don't got power. How? See, it's weird how that works. Because remember, that's the main thing is we teach people how to do what? And if my first impression of you is that you're weak and nimble, you can't be mad if I tell you how to run your life. If another grown woman is telling you how you run your life and you call it calling your friend to ask her everything, it's because the way y'all originally met, y'all bonded over your childhood trauma. So y'all have a trauma bond in y'all friendship. That's why it's so easy for her to tell you what to wear, what to do, how to be in your marriage, treat your kids and everything. But she's single. That's why. Because if it's healthy, then she can clap back at you just like you clap back at her. Because it would be equal. It wouldn't feel like, it would feel more like sister, like not like mother. One of the things I did a lot in my life was I struggled with that hierarchy until I was about Probably 37. I struggle with understanding relationship emotional hierarchy. I couldn't find my emotional adulthood in some of my relationships, so I immediately became the abused child because that was familiar and it was safest. And so I had to learn to grow up out of that. And whatever space I claim, that's my space. And if we have a disagreement because I'm an adult, I can sit down and say, hey, I misunderstood you. Can you further explain? And I give people the same permission to bring that to my front door. So I become approachable. In a childlike nature, I might not be as approachable. I might not be. So I think that's all I have for tonight. Hi, Rookie. Hi, Blessed by the Best. Hi, there's it. I think it's Nessa. Um, Nessa Lynn 129. Hi. So, hey, Kenyatta, how are you? So, any other questions? So, that's just kind of some of the things that we provide a lot of insight on. And that falls in line with cultural thinking. And so we just teach on a couple different concepts like general obesity, cultural obesity, and environmental obesity. And what we try to do is help people understand what the difference is in them and what it looks like in their life and how to address it. Because two of those you have no control over, one of them do. So, in order to have an influence in those spaces where you don't have control, you must have control over your thoughts, actions, behaviors, and responses. And so that's why you put the work in. You come to weight loss mindset coaching and you get the tools you need. We teach a bunch of different tools and techniques such as tapping, breathing. We do a weight loss meditation that I created about 7 years ago and I myself have been using. And my my ladies in the program. And I have a couple guys like Caitlin that I work with. Hi, Brene. How are you doing, beautiful? Hi, Pink, that use it as well. But it's really powerful. What we've done is we've just taken the megahertz of sound waves, and healing sound waves. And I have developed some weight loss affirmations that we've been using in our program for several years. And they've actually helped several of the women who go through the 21-day meditation with me drop several pounds during that first 5 weeks of working with me in the excess, sometimes up to 21 pounds. And the most we've had released in just 5 weeks is about 54 pounds. And in a year, 130 pounds. And we do no dieting or caloric restriction. All of our workouts are based on your fitness foundation. So instead of you doing very rigorous, hard, difficult workouts, we actually focus on using the vibration plate and the resistance bands for over 9.5 years in our community. So although vibration plates are new to you guys, to all of the ladies who work with I.R.I.S E, we've been using the same theory because when it works, you don't break it, you better it. And so the same theory that got me out of the hospital bed paralyzed at 592 pounds is what I teach. And it works because it's not dieting, but it is creating a lifestyle that's meant to ebb and flow into the circumstances that you may be in at certain times of your life. So it's just set up quite different than just dieting, meal plan, or dropping weight. Yes, many ladies can lose a lot of weight quickly with me because I do know how to diet. Remember, I'm a food addict, duh. But what I teach is much more sophisticated and optimal than just a meal plan and drinking a detox tea. Although I do have a detox tea, which I've used, but the way I lost weight is through intermittent fasting and behavioral modification. When I tell people that, they can't fathom it, but when they begin to follow me and listen to what I'm talking about, then they begin to understand how you tame the beast because weight loss is mental but can be treated medically, intervention wise, right? You can gain a tool, but you still need to work on the mindset in order to connect the waistline. Okay? All right? Anything else? If that's all for me, Miss Tiffany, Miss Brene, Miss Blessed by the Best, I'm going to go and hop off on here. And I think I'm going to maybe work a little bit and then head myself to bed. You guys have an absolutely beautiful evening. May God bless you and keep you. And I'll actually see you guys tomorrow morning. I'll be going up a little bit early in the morning, okay? So I'll see you in the morning, bright and early. In the morning with day 125. We made it for 124 days. So thank all of you who have gone live with us for 121 days, y'all. I mean, 24 days. Like, honestly, I can't believe we still going live together, y'all. Can y'all? So, anyways, just make sure you grab your I.R.I.S.E merch because we will be having a party on day 200. We will be filling up the guest boxes. We are live right now on all platforms, so we'll be filling up the guest boxes. We'll be taking massive comments. Come with your I.R.I.S.E merch on. There will be a Zoom, and we'll also be on guests. So come with your I.R.I.S.E merch on. Wear your t-shirts, wear your bags, bring your socks. I know some of you have towels and cups and sweatshirts. Bring your bands because we'll be having a social media platform workout wide together, and then we'll be kicking back after our workout, drinking our protein shakes. You'll be grabbing your drink and telling me what you think as we build and just celebrate the last 200 days of growing and becoming better humans. So I look forward to that. Also, we have locked down the first weekend of May. We are looking at doing our meet and greet. Woo! And so the only thing that will bump that would be the following weekend, which is okay. But we'll be doing that meet and greet on the East Coast. Last year in October, we had a beautiful and amazing meet and greet at a 5-star resort in Scottsdale, Arizona, where the ladies were just absolutely loved on and adored for 4 days and 3 nights. And they got to do, we did a keynote speaker. We did some support meetings. We did journaling, affirmations. We had a chef come in. Our team, we have an I.R.I.S.E has like an in-house chef. She came in and she cooked for us. Every meal was served to us. Okay. You guys, we woke up and there was stuff laid out on the counter. It was laid out with names on it. It was, listen. Y'all think I dress crazy, my nails are crazy. Just imagine what I like in the event. It has to make you be like, man, that was unique. And so we'll be finally bringing a day party meet and greet here in New Jersey, because you guys know how I am. It is limited seating. We will only be doing 50 ladies because I want to be able to have a few minutes where the ladies can sign up to sit with me personally for a consultation included in the admission price, so that they can have an idea on their food, their nutrition, their mindset. So that's going to be kind of worked in the day. So it'll start the night before, but if you're coming to the retreat, you'll arrive early because the event starts at 8 a.m. And then it goes till the next morning. So there'll be the hotel, you'll know the hotel and all of that, but you don't have to stay. You can just drive up and leave if you want. There will be an option to just buy the She's Not Dead brunch. The She's Not Dead Day Party brunch in admission is basically where we'll have guest speakers, myself, and we'll be having lunch together. It is a sit down with a course meal, but some of it will be buffet style. What else? I don't have the paper press. So anyway, that's it. So you'll know the colors of what to wear. There will be merch in your check-in bag. So there are certain things you just need to bring a bottom for. Because we meet in the morning for our sunrise workout, and then we hang out for a little bit, and then we break off at about 10:30 or 11, and then everyone goes to change and prepare for our brunch, and then we go into a session before our actual brunch. And then we have our midnight sundown session, our midnight sundown event. We'll be releasing our lit and lanterns and letting go, floating candles in the lake. Okay. That's all. That's all for now. Okay. Bye, guys. Have a good night. Love ya. Love you much. I love ya. I love you much. Don't forget to have a good day. Anyway, good night. Bye.